I have been busy
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
making what you called a God box.
Yes, I did call it God boxes.
You and I taught an elements class.
We did. I remember we did God boxes in the craft section, the earth.
The earth section.
Yeah. I remember this.
So I just thought I would make one while you talk to me.
Because that's like so brilliant.
I just have a box here. I think it's a jewelry box. It's
I see it.
Yes. And
yes, and the logo, which it's like.
So I'll just merrily do that, and every once in a while I'll hold it up when you scratch your head or something.
Sounds good. And may I ask, will you be putting in this God box?
Oh, well, what a good question.
I know, isn't that good?
I'll be putting little magic things. It could be a traveling altar. I mean, that's what a little box is really good for, especially if you begin collecting, small things, a tiny broom, a doll's cup, a tiny doll's cup. My fingers don't work anymore, Pandora.
Is it arthritis?
It's arthritis and swelling and neck stuff. Mm-hmm. And I used to do really tiny little embroidery and beautiful small work. But now I can do collage. And I wanted to say that my coven, which is the Screaming Yonis, my coven every year around January, February, winter time, we make a collage for the year as a way for ourselves. We make it in sacred space, but Kayla has lots of old magazines, and we all have art material and things we've collected through the year for it. And we make them in a night, although we could finish them later if we had an elaborate.
Right, but there's something special about doing it over the night, and getting it done.
And we all admire each other's, and we've been watching each other because we do it inside a circle. And then we bless them and charge them. And I have mine up in my room every year, and I like it. So collage has become the thing I can do.
Yeah. I had to, the tiny things that I used to be able to do, I had to get rid of. I can't do them anymore. I can still do crewel work and cross stitch. I can knit and whatnot. That will go, and so I'm getting things done as I can.
Yeah. I have a granny square blanket that I think has a lot of magic in it that I was making, and I dropped it, and I think I can manage to stitch it together. I found it in my packing and organizing. I did find it. Now let me ask you, have you made any magical tools of your own?
I have made, I know that I have. What are they? Oh, I have made, there's a goddess that I use in the north that I made long before I became a witch. Ha ha ha. I have made that. So that's made out of clay. And tarot bags. In fact, I'm going to start selling them on Etsy, because silk velvet with silk inside, because it's hard to find, hand embroidered. So tarot bags, but I make magical things, but the tools of the elements, I tend not to. Many of them have been handmade and given to me. Yeah, but altar cloths, the textiles things, that's what I mostly do.
I find myself very often making little bags. Bags for tarot cards, bags for charms, bags for a beautiful rock that I bought. And there's intention in my stitches.
Yeah.
And sometimes there can be more intention in my stitches than not. There's some important things I might make where each stitch I name my intention, and I
sure. Sure. It's very intense. One of the things that I do with intention is often dolls, and I was going to show you some stuff. Would you like to see?
Yes, please.
Let me start with this.
Oh.
So, not a tool. Can you see? Yes.
I see.
Possibly so.
That's quite an expression.
Yes, this is Vasilisa,
Uh-huh.
or is it?
Oh my God, Pandora.
Yeah. Yeah, so Vasilisa, Baba Yaga. So
Oh,
very, very intense work, and intended and very much intended to be both a celebration of my work with Baba Yaga and Vasilisa, and a place to ground it.
what do you mean? I mean, I know what you mean, but tell me.
Yes, yes. So that when this is, my relationship with Baba Yaga and Vasilisa goes way beyond my doll.
Mm-hmm.
But that the doll exists and that I spent so much time on it, and excellent braids. I don't know if you saw the braids, excellent.
Oh, wait. Oh, hold still. Oh, wow.
Braids, pearls. Let's go back over. Yeah, there's humor to this too.
Yes.
It's a manifestation. That's what I mean by a grounding of it. It's a manifestation of how I feel about my relationship with this particular deity. And of course, she's all about dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she just.
Yeah, she's real good.
She's missing the little skull. I haven't finished that, so you don't have that yet.
Well, hurry up.
Oh, I have time for that.
What else do you have?
I brought you. You haven't seen her in her new clothes.
Oh, Emily.
Yeah, Emily. Emily is magical, and I, as you know, you remember the story of your friend who drew, your artist friend who drew a picture of, who drew Emily for me and told me afterwards, I don't know if you know this, but your doll moves. I'm like, yes, I did know that.
I forgot all about that. What?
Had you? Yes.
Who was the artist?
I don't remember her name.
That's
a friend of yours who was staying. We were still at that point living in the Castro.
Okay. All right.
At any rate.
She is what we used to call an ensouled elemental.
She is. And she's way older than any of us are in these bodies. Yeah, because she's from 1860, and I have her provenance. I know the names of all the little girls she belonged to.
Oh my God.
And so this is simply an honor to history and to her because she is so old. So I'm very careful to make clothes for her. This is a reproduction this is a reproduction pattern calico of the kind that might have been available when she was first made.
Let me see the bottom of the skirt.
Feet, can you see it?
Feet, please, feet.
There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
Yeah, nice braid that, yeah. So I take care of that. Oh, Emily, don't fall down. There, you stay there. And one more.
All right.
One more. This is a reproduction. Bluette.
Yeah.
And Bluette was a little French doll that was made for little French girls to dress. And every week in La Semaine, there was a pattern for a dress for little. And this was one of them. This is a beautiful, as you see, I don't know, can you see the lovely hand-painted ladybugs?
Did you hand paint those?
Yeah, I did. I was following the French pattern. Oh, but the deal was, this was all a little contest, and people in the little club, they were like, let's dress our Bluettes for World War I. And so they were dressing them like nurses, and I'm like, World War I, France. So I found a picture of lovely little French children with their gas masks, and here's Bluette's gas mask.
Aww.
Isn't that nice? So that she doesn't die. That was magic. That's about children and war, and not romanticizing either one. So yeah, I think it's hard not to do handwork without really putting intention into it anyway. So it's just it's a simple step on over to put your intention toward what it is you're actually doing, so that you're not just following your pattern or just making things, that you're thinking about what it is you are intending this piece for, what it was meant to do. So that's what I do.
Intention is really everything, or it is a very important thing. Now, I can be sick with some sort of disease and knitting mindlessly, and that is not magic.
No, that's just keeping yourself occupied.
That's keeping myself occupied. I just want to make,
which is okay.
Yes, I just want to make that clear.
Oh, yeah.
And then sometimes the magic, like with Emily, finds its way in. Or maybe it was there with that long provenance of little girls, but certainly it got more magic when you got more magic.
Yes, Emily's very used to magic now. I don't know what she's going to do when I die.
Well, you have to leave her to somebody.
But Courtney gets all this stuff, yes. You'll have to teach Courtney, Emily.
Sometimes we need to take a rest from magic.
But yeah, sometimes we have to get different bodies because these get old.
Yeah.
Just shoring up the fallen wall is what's going on these days.
So would you say when you're doing a project, how much importance is color to you?
Extraordinary.
Okay. All right.
Yes, extraordinary. And I know that, I'm really aware that I tend to have like my own palette. Mm-hmm. And it goes beyond, it's I don't know that it's even associated with, am I thinking about elements? I'm not. I'm thinking about the colors that I like to go together. Mm-hmm. And I'm serious about it. I don't mess around. Why the question about color? What were you thinking about when you asked me that?
Well, I don't know if you went to Uma's classes.
Oh, yes, I did go to Uma's classes.
And she said to us, everything is made out of color and number. And I've never forgotten that. And color, at one point, somebody asked me what the most important thing to me was. And Corey was in the room. And I said, color is the most important thing to me. And Corey piped out, family is the most important thing to me. I felt very small, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Who was Uma?
Oh.
Uma lived across the street from us when we were living in the Castro, and she was an Egyptian witch. She had a magic shop over in the Haight.
Called?
What was it?
Tools of Magic? No.
Uma's Tools of Magic.
That would be it, yeah.
And she was also a fairy witch.
Which was she then?
Yeah, she was. Her initiator was somebody named, a name I don't like to say, Loki.
Ah.
And
that branch.
She was a marvelous witch.
Mm-hmm, she was.
Yeah.
She was very good.
Very sweet and kind. And also,
I loved her class. I just loved it.
Yeah, flashy and sexy and just a wonderful woman.
Mm.
At any rate, she taught me all things are made of color and numbers. Mm-hmm. And when I work a spell, and when I do something like this box, which is now acquired a minifigure.
Oh, this is much better. Yes, I like this. Yes, this is very, very nice. Nicely done.
That's the lining. I'm looking for an image for the front of it. And the way I'll let that image choose itself is there just has to be this flash between me and the image.
Sure.
Flash,
Ooh, God box. I've got 2 God boxes at the moment, and I thought I'd show you them.
Oh, good.
Because I am happy with found objects. Okay, so this is one I found. God knows where I got this, but I loved it very much. So the outside I haven't messed with, and I'm not going to. The inside.
What is it?
It's a star.
You found the star.
I did.
On the street?
It happened to exist, and I have it. So inside you can see it's got peacock feathers. And the peacock feathers are put, there's words, things all over that say words. What the hell does this say? Happiness. Oh yeah. So anyway, yeah. So this God box. This is my general God box. So it's got peacock feathers in it, and a great many texts that have to do with happiness. The foundational one of which is happiness is a form of courage. Yeah, and then a bunch of stuff about happiness. And what I have in here, so that's it as a God box. What I have in it is Shimayo dirt, because I put that in everything, and rolled up pieces of paper.
Shimayo dirt.
Hold on one second, I'll get to that. Rolled up pieces of paper that have my, the things that I'm giving, the things that I can't take care of, that I want something bigger than me to take care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shimayo dirt. Do you not know Shimayo?
No.
Mm.
Spell it.
Chimayo. Shimayo. It's up in northern New Mexico. It's up past Espanola. If it's in between Espanola and Taos, if you take the high road through the mountains rather than the road up the Rio Grande. And when the Spanish got to Shimayo, there was already a place there where the Pueblo Indians of that area that was sacred and had sacred dirt. And the Spanish built a shrine there, and then there's a church next to the shrine. And you can go, you can get the dirt. It's extremely powerful. It's like very powerful.
Okay. So you've got dirt.
Really.
Dirt and message.
Yeah, I have a little dirt. You don't need much.
Okay.
Shimayo dirt, intent at all is all Shimayo is intent, I tell you. Yeah, so you call in the, when I use Shimayo dirt, I have to be very serious what I'm doing. But this is a box that was actually, I need to revisit it because this was actually intended for a particular purpose.
Ooh.
And I don't know where I got this, but around about the time that Laura and I were talking about needing to get from Pittsburgh to Albuquerque and not knowing how the hell that could possibly happen. Yeah, we owned a house. We both were tenured professors. What the hell, what? She's 10 years younger, so we didn't even have the same age thing going on. I found this box, and I don't know where I got it, but it has the Zia sun symbol on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is. So this is my Please Get Me to Albuquerque box.
Whoa.
And so I didn't mess with the box itself because it was already perfect. But it has Shimayo dirt in it, and then it has a collection of folded up pieces of paper, each one of which has some aspect of what we needed in order to get to Albuquerque safely. That we needed jobs, we needed money, we needed to get the cats there, the dogs there, the birds there. We needed a house. We needed to sell our other house, yada, 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 yada. And it was impossible to do. It could not be done. But luckily, we just had to do the footwork, and a whole bunch of stuff happened that just made no sense. So there you go.
Well, that's how magic works.
That's magic for you, but you do have to do the footwork. And I think that's the thing about magic and the way in which intention and the craft are so clearly intertwined. It's not enough to just have very strong wishes.
No.
And it's not enough to have very strong wishes and make them articulate. You also actually have to do some stuff in the world. Like, you can't do some magic for a job and then sit around and not look for one. Because it's a way of negating the magic. The magic will open doors that you could not have thought of, but the magic won't do the work for you. For instance, what happened was the last time we came to New Mexico, before we came to buy a house, we went up to Taos, we stopped, I said, we've got to get to Shimayo. So we got the Shimayo dirt, and we said, we can't do this. We can't figure this out. And 3 days later, I got in the mail an offer from Duquesne University with a buyout offer that was too good to pass up. And that was the start of everything. I didn't create the buyout offer,
No.
but I put myself in the position of getting the buyout offer.
And then you grounded it into the box.
Yes, and I signed the paper to take the buyout offer. That was also an important piece.
Right. And it doesn't, it's extra that the box is beautiful. You know, it's
It
extra.
matters to me.
Yes.
Because what would it mean if I was doing lovely, crafty magic by making ugly things? I don't know what the hell that would mean. I can't even figure that out.
That's not our audience, don't worry.
Oh, thank God. But I suppose that if I did, it would be because I found power in it somehow. But I don't. I like pretty.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I think, do you have one last word of advice to our students that, I have one.
What is your piece of advice? Then if I have another one, I'll give it to you.
I have one.
What is your advice, my love?
It's really nice to be intuitive when selecting and collecting your materials. And to warm up your hands and let them move over a selection of things, or if you're in a
Yes.
store even, it's nice to really be in touch with your center and
Yes.
grounded and your intuition open. And then you choose the things that delight you. And later you will figure out how to put them together.
Yes, I think that is a very, very good way of thinking of it. And it's important, the groundedness, that's why I like craft so much, that it is so grounding. It's important, the letting yourself trust yourself when the movement through color and texture and meaning. I also want to say that it's important to trust your brain.
Okay.
It is important to know that the things that you know intellectually, the connections that you make intellectually are also sacred.
That's right. That's right.
It's easy to forget. It's really easy to forget.
Thank you, Pandora.
Yeah, there's magic. There's magic in the brain. We don't get to use them when we're dead. I'm just pointing that out. They go to jelly.